Greetings, 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 greetings. What's up? It's your brother King Simon on July the 13th. Now, you're letting people get in, but I'm broadcasting also on King Simon Presents on YouTube, King Simon on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'm broadcasting. How you feeling today? I hope everybody's well. And I'm just happy to be alive and well. And I hope everybody out there is alive and well. I'm broadcasting on three networks: Facebook, King Simon, and on IG at King Simon Productions, and on King Simon Presents on YouTube direct. Just wanted to help update some people and all the people on things that are happening and how things are working out in regards to dealing with mental health. And I'm doing it on this day because I this book was a tribute to friends of mine who took their own life due to mental depression, mental instability. And I made sure I didn't put their names in the book purposely because I didn't want them to be a poster child for the book. But I made sure that in the book, extended acknowledgement it says this goes out to my family members that may have suffered from mental health issues and to my friends that took their own life due to mental depression. You know who you are in the ancestral realm. Love and light forever. And today happens to be one of their birthdays. Today happens to be one of my dear friends, one of my friends' birthday, who did take his life. Matter of fact, a month before his birthday, on the 13th. Today is the 13th, and he took. And I tell people all the time that numbers have patterns, numbers have sequences, numbers have cycles. And what I have identified over many years of studying is that there are certain numbers that people are connected to that can go down the road of mental depression, sometimes anxiety, nervous issues. And this is not in any way, and I've got a disclaimer. The disclaimer is that I'm not a mental practitioner. I'm not a mental health doctor of any way, but I am proficient in recognizing number cycles in numerology, especially by studying celebrities and people in my family and studying people that have gone through mental health issues. Because in order for you to teach certain things, especially in this type of field, whether it's the metaphysics science or whether it's the general science, you have to study if it is observable over time, if it is researchable, if it is, of course, repeatable over time, and if it's measurable. And what my assessment and analyzation of it, primary numbers that I've seen that people are connected to that leads to depression or mental frustration or nervous issues that can lead to depression has been, and I repeat, in this book, the number 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3. 4 and 7 being the primary numbers. So those that are born connected to those numbers in any way or have a certain amount of those numbers in their chart have to really take account of their mind, protecting their mind. Because sometimes, especially 4s and 7s, they live in their own head. Where and sometimes the 4, 7, and 8 can live in their own head. Now, if you've studied numerology in any capacity, you'll know that 3 and 5, although I mentioned them as one of the mental health numbers, they're very jovial and usually very happy-go-lucky people, no doubt. Again, I'm broadcasting on 3 networks, IG. I'm broadcasting on IG, of Facebook, and on King Simon Presents on YouTube. So what I've noticed over the years with myself, family, and everybody else that I've studied, researched, even in the book, I put certain celebrities in the book. I put certain family members in my book. These are the hardcover books. I do have some hardcovers left. I have actually 9 hardcovers left, actually, and 1 soft cover. If you do want to order it, you can hit me up. The hardcovers are definitely $40, but there's an extra $5 for shipping and handling. But this is not about that, really. This is about really recognizing patterns and sequences and cycles to maintain the discipline of your mind. They used to say that the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And that saying was said by a Dr. Fletcher. And I wrote that in my book also. I wrote that quote in the top of one of my chapters in this book. And I want to say the quote. I want to say his birthday, because it's not coincidence that someone like him, born on the 22nd. Okay, it's the old saying is, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, by Dr. Arthur A. Fletcher, born December 22nd, 1924. Now, like I said, the mental numbers in the patterns that I've studied over the years in numerology has been the number 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3. 4 and 7 being the primary numbers that even in the cycle, when you're heading into those cycles of it, you have to protect. Even when you go into the personal cycles or the personal monthly cycles of it, you have to protect your mind and living up to the expectation of higher learnings and keeping your mind at a high level. Because if, according to MIT, in a 20-year-old study, over a 20-year-old study, if it says that it takes 16 positive to knock out 1 negative, if that's the case, then each one of us, no matter what number we're born under, have to be very protective of the mind. So Dr. Fletcher from the United Negroes College Fund said, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And he's born December 22nd, the same day as Chancellor Williams. And remember, the 2 plus the 2 is the 4. That's a mental thing. So for this mental quote, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, to be founded and coined by someone born on the 22nd, which is a 4, which is one of the mental numbers. It's not coincidence. It's just that this person realized, even in his life, that the mind needs to be protected. And I want every one of you, because if you don't protect your mind, your behind will follow also. That's why the old song by In Vogue was, free your mind and the rest will follow. You got to free your mind. Free your mind of the mental strain and stress that this society brings. And maybe people in your family that brings the same stress. Sometimes you got to release people. Sometimes you got to release people's energy. And I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody up here. Everybody on IG and Facebook and YouTube. Please share the video wherever you see it, on Instagram or Facebook, or share the video, because it's pertaining to even the youngest of us. And it's important because at a young age, I thought about taking my own life at 8 years old because of not feeling wanted, because of my complexion. Being a dark complexion or the darkest person in the family. So you don't know what's in the mind of a child. And yes, one of the mental health numbers is around me, especially in my name. And I had to recognize those patterns. I had to recognize those sequences. I had to look at it. And it's not just about the birthday. It's not about just the date. It can be in your alignment number. It can be in your destiny number. It can be in your life path. It can be in the names or the amount of numbers that pop up in your name. These things can appear. It could be in the cycle that you're in for that particular year, that particular day, that particular month. That's how deep it gets. So one of my friends take their life on June the 13th in their critical cycle before their birthday, a month before their birthday, July the 13th, which is today. And I'm only speaking on it because I must have woke up with this person on my mind. You know, he must have came to me, or one of them came to me, but both of them was born on the 13th. One was born July 13th, and the other one was born January 13th. So I'm not going to be long. I just wanted to share that is protecting your mind is a very important thing, and being aware of your children so they can protect their mind is a very important thing. Because like I said, in my own history, I thought about it also at a young age, very young. What would an 8-year-old, why would an 8-year-old think like that? Then having a conversation with one of my daughters, she told me she thought about it. And and then she said to me, which is so interesting, she said, my daughter said, "You didn't know that, did you?" I said, "I knew the number patterns that can exist because of her birth date. It adds up, her alignment number adds up to one of the mental health numbers, which was the 4. But you always try to look at the higher. Most of us as metaphysics or numerologists try to look at the higher level. But although I'm one of those people that try to look at the higher level of the number, the plus side of the numbers, I'm always knowing that on the other side, the darker side, if they might quote, or the lower frequency side, there's that possibility. So I wasn't surprised when she told it to me, because I've read all the numbers of all my children. I'm never surprised at certain things that they do because I've already read their frequencies. I've already studied their mathematics of their names and their birthdays. Sometimes I forget because I've done it so long and I have it written down on paper in my archives. But I studied those things. So when my own daughter said it to me, that she thought about taking her own life. And she's quite successful. She got her master's degree in doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? I got to respect that. But what energies that we attract and we might be connected to have to be pushed to the highest level and not brought down, or not allow external stuff to bring us down, especially due to what's ever happening in the world or what's happening on the news and all that kind of stuff. So I wrote this as a book to say, Numerovation for Mental Stability, a numerovational guide to recognizing mental instability and staying motivated. So the interpretations of the highs and the lows in here is to keep you motivated. You know, directly go straight to the jugular with it from a simple perspective, but I do require that everyone study. You have to study. You have to take time, and each word that I highlighted in different segments of the books. Sometimes we got to study the word. Sometimes we got to study the word that is pertaining to the connection to your numbers, whether you're born connected to the number 1 all the way to the number 9 or all the way to the 31st of the month. And I cover all those numbers. I cover even the master numbers. I cover the master number potentials. And once you recognize how to navigate, because numbers are here to navigate, not control you. I want to be specifically clear, especially to religious people who have been raised with a religious mindset. Numbers, the book of Numbers was an order, was something to put the tribes in order, the tribes of Israel in order, to give them account of who they are and what they are. So Numbers, from a metaphysic perspective, is just like an esoteric or spiritual GPS to give you guidance so you'll know what's the obstructions and the destructions and the complacency in your life, or possible complacency in your life. So people that know these sciences are not here to try to control you and tell you to worship it. They're not supposed to. If they are telling you to worship and come back to them every goddamn time, you're not living life. And that's what I like about what on Karen Hunter's podcast with Samuel F. Reynolds. I like what Samuel Sam said. If you keep on coming back to me, you're not trying to live life. We want you to get it for yourself and learn to live life. And when you need the GPS, you might call us. When you got, especially with me, if you need certain things that you want to find confirmation for mathematically, then you come to me. Or you go to a Lloyd, or you go to a Kaya French, or you go to Lloyd Strayhorn, I'm saying, or you go to Jackie Levine, or anybody else that's practicing numerology, or numerologist.com, wherever you want to go. But when you come to me, I don't want people to keep on coming to me like I'm their God and them. No, I want you to realize that it's already in you. It's already in you. So the numbers that you're born with or connected to are just apparatuses to remind you on where you need to go, whether you go down the high road or the low road, or whether you stay complacent. Like I've said many times, I've met homeless people born on the same day as Barack Obama. I've met homeless people born on the same day as Smokey Robinson, or some great people as president of the United States. I've done case studies like that. Sometimes when I want to do a case study on the homeless person and why they're homeless, guess what? I'll give them some money or give them some food and ask them, "What is your birthday?" That's what I would do. And then sure enough, when I assess the matter and why they took that low road, it's in their numbers. And I'm sure if a well-trained astrologist or well-trained cardiologist or a well-trained tarot would be able to recognize that fall in that person and why they fell. Numbers gives a quick bird's eye view right there, right now. It gives me all the different dynamics and different levels, because it gives me the alignment, it gives me the pinnacles, it gives me the challenges, it gives me right away as soon as I look at the numbers. As soon as you text me a number, from the time you text me your name and your birthday, my mind is already there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I choose if I can do it or not, or if I have to pass it on to somebody like Lloyd or Kaya or somebody else that I'll pass on. And it's easy to take your money. I tell people that it's easy, but if I feel or I look at what you're saying in the text, that it's more deeper than numerology, or it's just you need more spiritual guidance, then I will give you to that spiritual teacher. I'll give you to a Brother Panic. I'll send you to a Sister Khadidra. I'll send you to a Mama Ella. I'll send you to Paris Williams. I'll send you to any one of them. I'll send you to a astrologer. I'll send you to Ra Aku. I'm not afraid, because the world is abundance. If I'm saying that I am God having a human experience and God is abundance, then I got to live in abundance and be willing to share the wealth. I have no problems with that. That's what I've learned over the years. So again, the mental numbers from my studies might be the people from the Vedic and the India might have another study. People from Japan in numerology might have another. So it's like this book. I shared this with a friend of mine born on the 11th the other day, right? This is the Japanese numerology. So she read the book. She read the number 11 and disagreed with it. Disagreed with what they're saying. And I said, okay, cool. But that's from a Japanese perspective. It's not like it's not true. It's just from that person, Takagi. This book is written in 1964. Whatever that person have studied from 1964, that was his interpretation in Japan. That's why it's called Japanese numerology. It's not that it's not true. It may not be true for her at this point of time, but it could have been true in some point of her life, or it may be true at another point of her life. That's how numbers work. That's why I study all systems to create numerovation, because I need to see the bigger picture. I don't just use Pythagorean. I don't use just Chaldean's interpretation. I use cosmic numerology. I may use the Vedic numerology. I may use Japanese numerology. I may use a part of the system from gematria. I might use the part of the system of science and its connection to numerology and understanding the patterns and sequences and cycles. I'll use all types of forms of numerology. I use African numerology. I use this guy's numerology, Saphira. I'll use him. They all have their own styles, but it doesn't mean that they're not good. It's just that different periods of times and cycles, the numbers interpretation of where people live culturally or where they at might mean something different for those people right there. But when it comes to finding a bigger picture, I have to look at it all. And I will study and research it so I can get the bigger picture to give better guidance to everyone that's out there. It's very important to me. I think I'm dying on Facebook. Facebook just died. Facebook is gone. Okay, so I want everybody to know that this book, as simple as it is something for the library, something for the collection, but something for you to look through and really, whatever quote that I put in there, really apply it to themselves, because any number, anybody born from the number 1 all the way to 31st of the month can suffer from mental issues. But again, like I've said before, the primary numbers that seems to propel this mental issue to a higher level is usually number 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3 in my studies. And you could be born in the 4th month, the 7th month, the 8th month, the 5th month, and the 3rd month, and that mental thing comes out. That's how deep this can get. But like I said, I'm not going to be here for too long. Facebook already shut down because that phone just died. I'm going to have to plug that in. And I knew I was supposed to keep it plugged in, but I didn't feel like doing all of that. Instagram, we're still running on Instagram. We're still running on King Simon Presents on YouTube. So I'm running on. So I want people to realize that, again, numerology is just like the GPS that we're using, or the Rand McNally map that I have. I have the Rand McNally map here too. The maps that we used to have in our car back in the day. It triangulates what's happening. It gives you direction. It gives you in numerology, we give you the highs, the lows. We give you the constructive. We give you the obstructive. We give you the destructive. We remind you that you can be complacent, because comfort is an enemy of progress. And most of us are sometimes very complacent of where we're at. I've been complacent too. Don't worry. I'm no better than you, family. I've gone through the ups and downs. Like I said, I'm doing this today because one of my friends, who happened to be my best man at my 2nd wedding, took his life, and he was born today. He took his life in the critical cycle. And I discussed that in this book too, the critical cycles, how important it is that these different cycles are recognized, because again, the universe is going in cycles, seasons, patterns. The earth is going in cycles, seasons, and patterns. Whether they mess it up or not, the earth is still doing what it does. It's gonna keep on doing, because it's just like our body. If we cut ourselves, the whatever whatever chemical we have in our body will start to take over and close the womb. It'll start working towards that. But the earth does the same thing. So once you learn to pay attention to your mathematics, because numerology, the study of numbers, that's all it means. Numerology is applied mathematics, but you have to apply it. And like I tell everybody in my sessions when I open up, I said, look, it doesn't require you to believe in it. Numbers work behind the scene whether you believe it or not. That's how deep numbers is, because numbers is a universal language. Whether you believe it or not, numbers are going to work. Just like this computer, just like this phone I'm doing IG. There's a binary code. There's a coding behind it that's constantly working. Even when we shut off the computer, when we shut off the phone, there's a coding working. So universally, there's codes connected to your birthday and the name and the time you came through, the day you came through, because we're resonating with these days and months and years. I don't care if you go into the Ethiopian Canada. If you're living in Ethiopia, then you live as an Ethiopian, but the numerology is still right and exact in Ethiopia. Japanese numerology, regardless. If you're going to Japan and you're living in Japan, then the numerology is right and exact in Japan. If you're going to China and you're living in China, the Japanese is right and exact in China. I could keep on going. If you study in Kabbalah and you live in that Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic community, the mathematics is right and exact in the Kabbalah. I could keep on going with this, because numbers are infinite. And like I've said many times before, common sense says, look, if you can start counting from the time you were born until the time you die, and if there's a spirit realm and you're counting in the spirit realm, and you have to come back to somebody else's womb, or come through somebody's penis at another time, and you're still counting, the numbers will still be going. You can still be counting, because numbers are infinite. That's why I stay on the numbers, because every astrologer, cardologist, everybody's using numbers. They're all using it, whether to find out when the birthday, maybe whether they're born, or to find out when you was born, to find out there's a mathematics behind all of the abstract science on the earth, and there's a mathematics on all the esoteric sciences on this planet. And it all began with the original people. It is originally from the melanated people. Whether you think it's from Kemet, whether you think it's from Sumeria, whether you think it's from Chaldea, whether you think it's from India, it's ours. It's how you use it with proper intentions is important. Yeah, you can go down the negative road if you want. You can go down the negative road if you want. You can use it from a negative perspective. You got to understand the light and the dark side and find a balance that can help you be you and be your very best. And that's what I love about people like when Panic speaks, or when Bobby Hemmett speaks, and when other people, when Phil Valentine speaks, or because they say whatever works for you. Maybe you're not supposed to do Christianity, or maybe you're supposed to do Christianity. If it works for you and it's making you a better person and you find results, then use it. Maybe you're not supposed to be a Muslim. Maybe you're supposed to be a Muslim. Maybe you needed to go through that school. I went through all the schools. But each one of the schools helped me to be able to talk to you. So even if you come with a Christian mind, I'm able to go right into the Bible. If you come to the Hebrew mind, I can go right into the Bible also. If you come with a Muslim mind, I could go right into the Quran with it also. I study the Tao. I got the Kabbalion. I wherever you want to go, I go. But I want to stay focused on you, because what I do is called Numerovation. Numerovation is not a hard word to pronounce. Numerovation. I roll it with the R's. That's my little Latin background. Numerovation. It's nothing hard, but it does take work. It does take work. If you're going to do any of this stuff, it does take your deeper work. Whether you get into, whether you need to do any chakra healing, root chakra, heart chakras, mental, whatever you need to do, it all has a mathematics behind it. And I'm glad, although I have strict Christian family, my father's a minister, my sister's a like Christian life coach and all that kind of stuff, they don't argue with me. You can't argue with facts. You can argue with beliefs. You can't argue with facts. You know what I'm saying? You could argue, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get into religious or political arguments anymore. I try to avoid that, as much as I can, because again, I study patterns, sequences, and cycles. The Bible has patterns, sequences, and cycles. The Quran has patterns, sequences, and cycles. The nature has patterns, sequences, and cycles. The universe has patterns, sequences, and cycles. That's all I'm staying on. I don't debate. I'm like John Henry Clark, baby. I teach. I'm not debating, and I'm always learning. It ain't never gonna be a time you ain't never gonna see me with a book, unless I made a mistake and ran outside without my book. But you got to study. You got to study. You got to research. And again, this is a good book to get. My first book on numerology is a very good book. Also, very good introduction. Of course, Lloyd Strayhorn's book all the time. I'm always going to promote. Matter of fact, if you get my books, I have recommended reading in back of all my books. I always have to put recommended reading. I ain't going to front and pretend that I got this from a vacuum somewhere, that I just sat and downloaded. Some people can do that. I'm not gonna tell. Some people got it like that, but still, whatever they download, especially if they're doing it in English and all that stuff, and doing it in different languages, depending what culture they was raised under, is what the information that you've been gathered all your life, that's what you're downloading and formulating and turn it into something. So every one of my books have recommended reading in the back. Even my children's book also. My children's book has recommended reading on health. Children's health book has recommended reading. And even my promotional book, my motivational book on promotion, has recommended reading in the back of the book. Especially if you want to learn how to promote. I'm about to do something with this book as far as turn it into an audio book. I know a lot of people don't have time to read, so I'm going to practice reading this book and turn it into an audio book. And I might turn one of my other numerology books into an audio book, but I really want people to read and get it. Study and get it. And take it on. And learn how to do it for yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing things for yourself, because you turn on your GPS by yourself and say, Shuri, I want to go home. Person live around the block and can't find yourself home without Shuri. That don't make no goddamn sense. Or Alexa, take me home. How you live a mile away and you can't go home without Alexa? Everything is already within all of us. What we as numerologists or cardiologists or astrologers or cosmophysics, physicists, all we do is giving you the reminder. It's just a reminder, because we need that total recall, just like that movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger did years ago. Total recall. We need the recall. Numerology is just here to give you the recall. Like I was doing a session with a sister yesterday. She knows she second guesses herself. She knows she's indecisive. She knows she procrastinates. The numbers tell me that too. The negative of the numbers, like 1 and all that kind of stuff. Procrastination, indecisive. She knows this. I just confirmed it. She knows it. I just kept on confirming. And she was so elated that someone that don't know her can confirm that she needs to stop the BS. Get over that hump. And is it microwave? It is not microwave. It is work. And if you're not willing to do the work, then stop playing. Just live your life. Live your life. Live your life, then live your life. Cool. Live your life. But I'm saying, if you start paying attention to numbers and your astrology, then it will manifest itself to what it is. Some people don't need it. Just like when what's the name was on Brother Rich, Dame Dash, that last time he was on Brother Rich show. Dame Dash said he don't need it, but he's using it. If he's still talking to Billy Carson, he's using it. He's using numerology. He just don't want to bear witness to that. He may not need a official session with me because he's already where he's at. That's where he's at, and he's still growing and still doing what he does as a number 3. Number 3s are supposed to expand in multiple ways, just like James Brown. Him and James Brown born the same day. They're gonna expand and grow. Star and Buck Wild from Star Report, born the same day, they're gonna expand and go. You can never really hold back a number 3 unless the 3 decides to hold themselves back. People born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 30th of the month, or the 21st of the month, you can't really hold them back unless they let you hold them back. Go figure. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've studied all of them, especially in the conscious community, in the entertainment. I've been studying a lot of them. Not all of them. I've been studying a lot of them. Tyrese, the LeBron, the people born connected to the 3, like Tiger Woods, people like Young Pharaoh, people, you know what I'm saying? I've been studying these guys and studying, Minister Inky, people like Brother Garfield. They going to expand. That's what they do. It's like if you put a 3 in a bubble, 3 will keep on growing if they really have that determination. 3 will just keep on growing until that bubble bursts. James Brown was like that. Star is like that. Dame Dash is like that. LeBron is like that. Let's not front. They're like that. Born under those different numbers of 3. Umar Johnson is like that. I don't care how much people trying to hit him with this and that and calling him that and this and that. He keeps on pumping up. He's Big Papa. He's the gorilla. He's King Kong. That's what it is. That's what they gonna do. Usain Bolt. You can't stop them from not growing. That's crazy. Simone Biles. Simone Biles is born in the month of March, which is connected to the number 3. But she's born on the 14th. Which is another brilliant number of expansion and growth. So I can get into those numbers with that. So it's powerful when you study the numbers. You know, Simone is doing an excellent job. You know, you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop them. You can't stop that energy. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I got some sessions to do, family. I will be back another time. First of all, I want to big up some sponsors. Lloyd Strayhorn, make sure you go to his website. Make sure you go to Lloyd's website. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. Take his classes, his basic classes, before you take my classes. My classes is the holistic Numerovation course. It's only $222.22 for my course. You get 8 hours. I have a special rate right now going all the way to August 31st. $199.99 for an 8-hour course of holistic numerovation. It's a raw, uncut PowerPoint and chalkboard. I'm working on my chalkboard. I got to do the chalkboard. And I'm giving you books and what you can study and what all that kind of stuff. Also, big up to Better Health Shop. Better Health Shop. Go to their Etsy page. That's betterhealthshop.etsy.com. Better Health Shop. .etsy.com. Show them some love. They got burdock root. I'm taking some burdock root now. Been working very well. I've tried their monatomic gold. They got colloidal silver. They got a whole lot of stuff. That's betterhealthshop.etsy.com. Hit them up. Pedalwise.com. Please hit up pedalwise.com for womb cleansing, fibroids, mental health. Hit up pedalwise.com. That's pedalwise.com. If you want 10% off, use the 10% off coupon code, and that's King 2021. That's King 2021. That's pedalwise.com. PETALWISE.com. Hit them up. Also, real estate. If you want to buy your first real estate or you want to get consulted about real estate, hit up Janelle Lewis at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. Also, make sure you hit up people like my partner in Vibe, the one, the only Empress Aisha Moore. Hit her up on her DM for her beautiful earrings, and that's at DM 1,000,000_adornment. That's 1,000,000_adornments. And also hit up my son. Check out my son's stuff. On the bottom of this description, I'll have his link and all of that stuff here. My links. If you want to do a Numerovation session with me, you got to text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. I do have a waiting list, so if you're patient, my waiting list is I've broken it down. It's now in July, going into August, so we're in the month of July. So you're more than likely go get in July if you book now, before I go into August. And there's times because I'm doing a lot of traveling and all that. I got to head out of here for my grandchildren's birthday and all that kind of stuff. But please, don't be afraid to read. Remember, readers are leaders. Readers are leaders. Get the latest book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. You could go to Amazon and get it. If you want the hard copy, I'll sign the hard copies for you. I only have 10 hard copies left back here. 10 hard copy and 1 soft cover. And they're $45. That includes shipping and handling. So for the $45 includes shipping and handling of this hard copy to you. Yeah, I can still do out of state. I can still do out of state or out of the United States into England and all that stuff. It's just, they give me so much problems at the post office. I got to sign and write up all kinds of stuff because of customs and all that. But I do have 9 hardcovers left. You can get this on Amazon and Kindle. Get this on Amazon and Kindle, or just Amazon. You could get this one also on Amazon. The Children's Health book, my motivational book on promotion. I'm promoting your motivation. And also this. Remember, when you support these 3 books, you're supporting also Dr. Laila Africa. When you support these 3 books, you're supporting my publisher, Dr. Laila Africa, and his wife. So please do support these books on Amazon and Kindle. All right. So, that is very important, and again, get all 3 of the books. I got recommended reading in back of all of the books, all 4 of the books. I get recommended reading in all back of the books, and then do your research. Don't be afraid to study. Numbers are here to be studied. Numbers are here to be studied. I'm telling you, if they wasn't here, they would not have showed or manifested in time memorial. It would not have manifested in time memorial. They are here. Everything is on this planet for a reason. Even the worst of thee to the best of thee, we're on this planet for a reason. All right, so I'm going to get on out of here. First, I'm going to get on out of here on Instagram. I'm going to get on out of here. I want to thank you very much. Y'all be safe, be strong, be focused. I'm out of here on Instagram first. Then